Ho ho ho. Are we on? We are on. That's cool. I wonder if I can reload that somehow. I guess not. I guess I need to read the chat from browser. Hey Atsuki, how's it going? Good morning, Atsuki. 69 Study Monday. Fire. You don't need to add fire. It's gonna be yes. Hey Thomas, how's it going? So today we are gonna study fire, and this is the reference. Switch. This is gonna be so annoying. Thank you, OBS, for screwing me over. So, what we will do today? What's happening? So annoying. Like it doesn't act as it should act. Like look at all this. One of those days, I guess. Look at this. Can I throw the computer out the window today, please? You see? No, yeah, no, there we go. There, it did it. It's gonna be fun to try to paint. Complaining done. Bruno Romanos, Frenchy, what's up? So, the study idea today is to look at the reference. Try to understand how we can construct it. You know, like what layers or what steps do we need to take to get there, right? So are we going from light to dark or dark to light? What is your preferred process? How do you extract that information from the reference? For me, I am gonna go most likely from dark to light. It looks like in order to get all these interesting gradients there, most likely you shouldn't go from light to dark in the way I paint things. So I would do a dark orange or red, orange on top, then yellow, and then in the end the white, so that I can control the intensity of the fire, right? Because it's like in some places, like over here, there almost no white, while over here it's purely white and no oranges, just dark reds. And then the embers and the smoke and how that acts, how this area is acting. Hey Gary, how's it going? Zillion, what up? Captain Boss, how's it going? Captain Boss, how's it going? You know what? I'm gonna move this window. You don't see this, but I'm having problems with the OBS chat. it was unable to load. So now I'm moving the chat. So here, now I can read over there. That's correct. You're sick, but you don't care. Because you're a rebel. A rebel. All right, so that's the game plan. Me, how I'm doing? I'm doing okay. Can't complain, or shame to complain, really. Could be worse. So let's start doing it. A sick rebel. Right, so like I said, we're going to study fire on top of this sculpt we did on Friday. So I want to try a really warm orange as a base. This is going to look like very similar to that one. And then I'm going to pull blacks in. I'm not going to worry too much about the silhouette of the character at the moment, because I'm going to try to do it with the selection. So like we can see on this image as well, like with fire, you need contrast. Not because that's the way fire acts, but what it does to the camera. Let's see, can we modify, expand the selection, expand it with fire. Better. Frenchy, you have problems with your connection? I hate that. I hate these like technical issues, right? All right, so next is to add the orange, I would say. And we're gonna overlay, use overlay. Why overlay is because it dodges the base color slightly. Any color it lays on top, it dodges up, and you can harmonize tones that way. As a good example, for example, as a good example, blah, 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 idiot. Like if we fill with blue on overlay, you see it keeps values, it dodges the tones. It's a fun way to grade something if you use overlay and using blue. You can see the problem with overlay, it affects value. So if you don't want it to affect the value but affect the hue, you can copy it one more time, so it's an image, and set it to color, and then it won't affect the hue value but the hue only. So it's a clever way of grading with overlay on a low setting. Okay, so now I want to try to dodge using the gradients that we set up, the small gradients that we set up. I'm going to try to get this kind of behavior. Hey, Clifford, Dark Skynard, Erskine? One of you, I was going to Shasta. See, like, what up? Right, so let's then, yeah, exactly. But it's a little bit too orangey, but that's okay. I'm gonna do one more layer on top. And I'm gonna try to now deliberately try to mimic some of these over here that I talked about, those, to kind of set the foundation for it. So when you're doing this study, if you decide to do it, make sure you try to pay attention to how you layer. No, why is it overlay? Let's see what it does with overlay. No, lighter color. No, let's put it to screen actually. Yeah, screen makes it do what I want it to do. Make sure you try to understand not only the process, but what colors. And by process I mean how you would go about constructing the color shifts and the temperatures and so on. Clifford. Let's stick with Clifford then. Hey, Weeping J, how? What up? I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. Weekend is over. This weekend I did absolutely zero things, except I started an Unreal Bjornament 3 hype video. Oh Jesus! This year I'm gonna try something I've never tried before for the hype. And I got some really cool ideas for how we should I'm gonna see if we can set up something really interesting for Unreal Bjornament 3 sign up. I have this idea I want to run past Spiridon, because Spiridon has a programmer for the oh shit. Okay, I'm not gonna see that. I can scroll. I'm just gonna stay there. He has a programmer for the website for functions and so on. So I have this idea I want to run past him to see if we can't introduce for Unreal Bjornament 3. Yeah, between the yellow and the smoke, there's a strong orange. Yeah, absolutely. What I'm doing now is that I'm setting up the layer structure, and I'm gonna go over it again to get that dynamic gradient transitions, because now it's coming off a little bit flat and airbrushed fire. And it doesn't have that kind of cinematic aspect to it, or the, you know, like, oh, it really feels like fire feel. So that's what I'm kind of building the gradients up to. You can never really force the behavior of the gradients from the get-go unless you manually create them and you are very keen and aware of how it all works. So what I'm doing now is just merely prepping to be able to dodge the shit out of it, or push behavior. Production reason. Yeah, Unreal Bjornament 3 coming in March. My hype trailer is ambitious. Super ambitious, to say the least. But it's going to be cool. If I can make it happen, it's going to be fantastic. I'm gonna see. I need to do some before I start pushing my idea. I'm gonna have to do a technical exploration if Photoshop even can do it, and if Photoshop can do it, then I'm super excited. if not, it'll be good anyways. What I mean, yeah. I don't know really if you guys like them. I don't really get any feedback other than um, some laughs on the premiere. Um, but I mean, reading what you're writing now, that seems like you guys like them. So it's a bit of a weird thing, right? Is like I don't really know. I just keep doing them because I like them, not so much that I get like like people are pushing me to do them. I mean, well, cheers, cheers. Yeah, I I have a lot of fun doing them. Actually, really like doing them. It's really good fun, and I always think like, okay, what's the theme for this year? And then obviously it's the like massive undertaking of sourcing all the material, um, cutting them together, editing them, trying to hack editing programs to make them do what I want them to do, and so on. Bruno, that's cool that you remember the trailers. That's cool. That's nice. Makes it more worth it. Zillion, that it cuts the seriousness a bit. Yeah, I mean that's the whole idea, right? I don't want it to be this kind of you're gonna die. To quote one of the Unreal Bjornament 1 trailers. You crazy? You're gonna die. It's all in good fun, but it should be a serious good fun, because you're competing. But it should still be enjoyable. You should be able to laugh about it, but still fight for your life. About 12. What up? Welcome back. So today, about 12, we are doing study of fire and implementing it to our Friday sculpt. So I'm kind of working myself up in the gradients to be able to nail the sense of it, right? So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm currently talking about Unreal Bjornament hype trailers. Every year, for the last 2 years, every year for the last 2 years, for the last 2 years, I've been doing an art competition, which Amir Levy here lovingly named Unreal Bjornament, which is such a fantastic name. I just had to steal it. And it's the idea is that it's an elimination type art competition. And Miguel here in the chat came third out of 100 and something artists going head to head. Zealin. A lot more like fire than the fire. Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm trying to give it a little bit less of the red because it became a little bit comical, like a Hot Wheels fire. So what I'm doing now is just kind of softening that transition, and I'm gonna try to, I think I'll sample the same yellow and paint in it with linear dodge, and it didn't do what I wanted to do. Color dodge? Nope. Screen? Nope. Then we take linear dodge and we go over there. Yeah. All right. Right. Amir. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hilarious. Unreal Bjornament. And with that picture you made with the PUBG. Just fucking perfect. Zealin. Well, cheers. I guess that's a good thing, right? It means that I've successfully deconstructed fire. I made fire. I think just with fire, especially with fire, but painting in general, it's really important how you construct materials. Like at what stage are you putting the colors down in? Because it's really easy to get like muddied and not understand where what color goes on top which. And I'm quite sure if I would have done it slightly differently in the way I built the gradients, the end result would be drastically different. Hey, Mae. So the first one, we should be able. This should be on internet. Yeah. I can't play it. Oh yeah. Thank you, Zealand. Thank you. Hey, Mae. Happy Monday. So the first Unreal Bjornament was not with Firestarter. So we don't have that legacy. The first Unreal Bjornament was done on my own website, which I've abandoned. But that was the first hype trailer, and we were, I think, 48 people in the first Unreal Bjornament, and we more than doubled on the second. And I want to run a thing past you guys. One-on-one, you're dead. Yeah, that's a good quote. Funny quote. And by the way, if you look at the reference here and here, there, oh, you can't see. Idiot. You can see motion blur. The fire is moving faster and this fire is moving slower. So towards the end of the study, I want to select few areas of the fire and motion blur it, so we can try to mimic the variation in speed. Sharsa, yeah, watch it. It's funny. If I can say so myself, that I've done something funny. It's a bit weird, but nevertheless, it was fun. So I want to run an idea past you. I was thinking as I was starting on Unreal Bjornament 3, should we have a cap? Should we have 100 people cap? So this doesn't grow to monstrous sizes. So that there's a limited space. The sign up I will announce in advance, and then the sign up will go live, and then there's 100 spots to take. About 12. Yeah, 100 is already a lot. I mean, last year it was a lot of people, and there was a lot of work to get that right. Because I think it can easily grow to 200. And then I can't do a 200 people competition and do work and do warm-ups and do being a dad and being a husband and then, you know. So in theory, it would be first come, first serve. That's the idea I have currently of having a cap, having an announcement, and saying at this date, at this time, doors will open. And I am gonna try. The idea I wanted to try with Spiridon, if we can't use our account on the website to sign up for the competition, and you can see the profiles filling the slots, you know. Hey, runaway buzzo. You shouldn't miss it. It's. I mean, if you write apostrophe winners, you'll get to see the final round of Unreal Bjornament. But on the website, there is a separate section of the forum exclusively for Unreal Bjornament 2. And there is a lot of rounds and a lot of art, a lot of amazing feedback from the judges. And if you read all the feedback and look at the images, there's a lot of things you can learn from just reading the feedback each round, which is amazing. You know, hats off to all the judges that lent their time to the competition and to help you guys out. And again, that sounds a bit weird to say because I was one of the judges, but me aside, not me included, I'm proud of all of them. I mean, also amount of rounds. I'd like to keep it one-on-one for the most of the competition, because there will always be dropouts. There would always be people who can't compete, or someone has like a death in the family, or an accident, or this or that, right? Hey Einstein, how's it going? So I think possibly a cap at 100, or like some even number, would be nice. Sharsa. Well, you shouldn't feel too worried about it, because someone always has to lose, right? Especially when it's skill versus skill, artist versus artist type competition, and 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 it's random pairing as well. So you shouldn't be like feel bad of being defeated in round one, because maybe it was just a bad pick, or it wasn't your time, or you know. But what's cool with Unreal Bjornament, which I think I really like, is the comeback bracket, that you still have a chance to be in a competition even if you lost once. And there's a lot of fighting going on, and there's a lot of people being able to come back. Well, one being able to come back in the finale. So let's try to understand that. I mean, if it's the round, you can have 2 sets of, let's say, 100 each. You mean so we're 200 people? Not sure. It usually starts beginning of March. It started beginning of March last year. Nice. Nice judge's hat. That's hilarious. How dare you make a fool out of me, banned for life. um, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it grows to a lot of time really fast. I mean, last year it was 5 months of art competition because we were 100 people. It was it's a long time to run an art competition, to organize something for 5 months with 2 weeks in between each round, or 1 week pause between each round for you, but I am still working on everything for these 5 months, you know. So if we have twice the amount of people, it's gonna take a very long time. Even if it's 2 sets, we're gonna still have more time to it because it's gonna be more people, more rounds. Then I mean we can't do two sets because there are going to be 2 winners, unless those 2 winners fight each other, and that's an additional round. Hey Frogs, how's it going? Because if you don't, you have to intermingle them at some point. Frogs. All right, let's try this motion blurry observation I had. All right, makes sense, makes sense. So, my gut instinct is to have a cap on competitors. I think that would be it'll be the best in the end to control how many people are there. But maybe not exactly 100. I'll keep it a thought about it, or an open mind about it. But I'm currently leaning to 100. It feels like a good solid number. Still a lot of people. How dare you? Gonna need to add a little bit more complexity to the gradient, so it's not just flat airbrush. It has to be a little bit more alive. We can see it like it's particles in the smoke, and I didn't add any white smoke, which we can clearly see at the top of the reference. Erika Ricky just at the ending. Zealin, yeah, exactly. I think so too. Frogs, I don't believe we should have an entry fee. No. No. Zealin. Yeah, only subs can enter. Yeah, no, that won't happen. I don't believe in that. For sure. We're not gonna do entry fee. But you are gonna win prizes though. Free to paint. Gria, yeah, sure. Sure, I can set that up. With donation, yeah. For every 10 euro, you get +1 in judges' points. Yeah. And it's all for free. All right. So, fun study. Deconstruct fire, the process of creating fire. I think I somewhat made it correctly. It comes across as fire. I'm not super happy with the kind of like the yellow blobs. They feel a little bit too stylized, but overall it comes across as fire, so I'm okay with it. Yeah, so that's my current thoughts about Unreal Bjornament 3. I'm thinking about cap, and also that there will be open the sign up gates at a specific date and a time, and you sign up with your account and timestamp the sign up, just to be sure that because last year, because of time zones, etc., there could have been screw ups on my end in terms of like, now it's time is up, blah blah blah. It was a little bit of like I gave a little bit of a leeway, but I wanna see if we can't kind of automate it a little bit on the website, hopefully. Hopefully that will work out. anyways, we're gonna raid Max Greg. He's a great guy, great illustrator. Make sure to give him some love. If you're not gonna do this study, don't copy the photo, but copy the behavior of the fire to try to figure out how to paint it the best way. Good night if you're that part of the world. Have a fantastic day if you're in this part of the world. See you tomorrow morning. Have a good one. Toodles.